It's been really an eye-opener for me to see the other language groups, how they are doing their languages, because my language has been a sleeping language and we're just more or less starting out to get our language back spoken again. So just seeing all the resources that are available has given me ideas of how I can move forward to produce resources for my children and for the kids out in the schools.
Well, this is my third Wanala conference, and I really enjoyed coming over to the West and meeting up with the mob over here and seeing where they're up to with their language journeys and sharing some of our experiences and really just making those connections and visiting communities, visiting and revisiting ideas and just letting people know that there are plenty of opportunities for people to share knowledge, and these types of conferences are a really good place to do that.
I came to calculate trying to shape language, talk about the language, and for look after the language and like all of people get together, talk about the language and save it, I don't know. Yeah, I just came for the language.
Wow.
And I'm came with some people, get together for the language.
Terrific. And do you talk in language? Do you have grandchildren, and do they talk in the language?
Yeah, I talk to them with my language. They understand me. They know a little bit.
Good.
They speak a little bit.
These conferences are absolutely vital for us as a people, for Australia as a society, and Australia's place in the world. You find that language links you to who you are. It gives you your essence and your connection to place, to people. You're standing within those places and that essence. It also gives you that sense of communication that links you to not only people, but to the animals, the plants, the birds, the essence of your surrounds.
It's really good to be here at the conference. I went to the last Wanala conference that was in Broome 2 years ago. That was a good experience, and it's great to be here. These conferences are always great opportunities to network and share ideas and see what other people are doing.
Kaniwara Nongor means how are you all? And in response, that reply by saying Ngondongi Dayar, which means we all are good.
Ngany Coil, George Hayden. I mean, I'm George Hayden. Nijbal Balap Noongar country, so it means I come from Noongar country, and yeah, I'm part of the Naji Naji Noongar clan group, one of the 14 nations of Noongar people. So yeah, and I'm happy to be here.
We're doing a workshop, Wanala, and we're learning different skills from other communities.
I've been to all of the keynotes and obviously not all the workshops because you can only go to a couple at a time. But there's two things that I've really enjoyed about the conference. The first is that this is a really applied conference. There are people from communities and organisations that are doing really interesting work on the ground. Some of them using state-of-the-art new technologies like apps and databases, and some of them using quite old, ancient techniques of getting young people and children together in schools and on country. It's always terrific to see what's going on around the place and what's going on the ground.
So you ngayon kini Jackie Spelling, ngayon umur kalkulanya, ngayon wangata, merwanga wangata. So my name is Jackie Spelling, and I live here in Calgary, and I'm a Merawanga Wangata person.
I've learned many great things and many great ideas from the workshop.
Bring something back to our family at Ware in the Northern Territory.
Noongar language is in existence. It's out there, it's being researched, and it's being renewed, revived, and as well as other languages. And it's interesting to know that workshops that are within these types of conferences are very useful tools for furthering and identifying our languages.
Project, only last week myself and a couple of colleagues had a meeting at the Institute in Canberra with some members of the Ngunnawal language group. Ngunnawal is the language of the Canberra area, and back in September 2013 we approached the Ngunnawal community to say, look, we're specialists in Aboriginal languages, so we've got skills in linguistics and know about language revitalisation. If you people are interested, maybe we could help to revitalise the language. And they said yes. So that was September 2013. February 10th this year, the Prime Minister gave a short speech in Ngunnawal in the Federal Parliament. So there's been some progress. He was a very good student. He had about 5 minutes language instruction from my colleague Doug Marmion, and got the speech at least 90% right, which is pretty good for someone who knows not all that much about Aboriginal languages. But the symbolic power of it is quite important. There were actually some Ngunnawal people that I hadn't encountered at that stage who told me they'd been watching the Closing the Gap speech on TV and suddenly heard their language being spoken by the Prime Minister. So that meant a flood of tears and surprise and joy, and it's a kind of indication of the outreach that can be made by some reasonably minor input of language revitalisation. I mean, so a small investment can have big outcomes.
Languages are so important to communities' resilience and health, and supporting community language work is really important to maintaining that identity and maintaining that connection. And language conferences are really a good way to share those experiences and maintain those connections.
I'd like to get my language back.
I know bagano tigulong dan feeling na ninin banang na panbanyanga, but I come down language conference go to look Latiano Raban Gadi Injibani countries.
And what's that mean in English?
Raban is it's like their language is Injibandi. Language in the tribe.
Okay.
Gives you ideas, for things you can do in your own work. How you might be able to do things differently, or new technologies that are coming out, and just general networking as well is great.
Richard's talk this morning, I think that was pretty good. I mean, with his little life stories and the stories he told about Mr. Ugle. But overall I enjoyed going to all of them just about, especially the ones that I've been to. So yeah, and I mean I'll be interested in the one with Lenny Collard tomorrow in regards to Noongapedia, where that's at.
Magayanarawangi, mavende arawangi wo. Wenga ngenwara ta yori potkit arnabi gangi wo. Wari matu.
And what's that in English?
In English, I come from Warrior, and I'm here for this conference. And it's really good that I'm here doing this conference.
I think the conference has been great. We've got to meet a lot of different people and talk about language, and it makes me very proud of the work that I've done in terms of language, and it's made me proud of the work that other people have done and inspired me to do more, which is fantastic.
The important place that language has, Aboriginal language has, in holding knowledge that is otherwise not available. We hold our knowledge, our wisdom, our contributions to the world in our language. And Aboriginal knowledges are one of the great global contributors in that regard. There's sophisticated old knowledge, there's sophisticated relationship knowledge, there's knowledge that just isn't accessible to the rest of the world if we lose our languages. And what we have here is a celebration of those languages and the gift that they bring to scientists, to educationalists, to companies, organisations. We got to hang on to that language, because in that language is held that magic.
Warang Iratayan.
What does that mean?
I'm going now.